Hello, team.
Hello.
Cool. I love you guys. Now let's see if you can do the same for my friend Jeff. He is a Google AdWords specialist, trained in particular by the Google trainers. His results have been so amazing that he has been flown over to Google headquarters as an appreciation for what he does with Google AdWords. So I'll say hello team, and you'll say hello Jeff. Hello team.
Hello, Jeff.
Cool. Now my friend Adrian, he's a social media wizard. If you ask him where he lives, he'll probably say in the plane. Because of his amazing results with social media, he has been traveling between America, Dubai, and everywhere in Europe. So, I'll say hello team, and you'll say hello Adrian. Hello team!
Hello, Adrian.
Thank you very much, guys.
Cool. So I'm going to be talking about how to structure your sales funnel to generate leads on autopilot. Then Jeff is going to be talking about feeding the sales funnel with paid traffic. And Adrian is going to be talking about feeding the sales funnel with free traffic. Yes?
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. So I'm going to start. You can take your seat. Now, one of the reasons why we are late is because Jeff was a little bit late. We had a meeting a few days ago, and I asked Jeff, are you going to be late? Of course, he was late. And I asked, are you going to be late for your wedding? And he said to me, well, I don't know about that, but I'll definitely be late for my funerals. That's funeral. Now, he wasn't expecting that start. So, raise your hand if you want to generate hot leads on autopilot. Raise your hand again if you want to have those leads pay for the marketing spend on autopilot before you even have to pay the marketing spend. And say aye.
Aye.
That's what you are going to be learning today. See? As an entrepreneur, when you started your company, you had a dream, you had an ambition. But my question to you is, have you really achieved that dream? Or do you somehow feel stuck in your own business? Because maybe you haven't really cracked selling as you'd like. Maybe you're still trying to find your position, your clients. Maybe you feel like your competitors that are not as good as you are getting more business. Maybe you lost an important client or an employee. Or you simply just want to grow your business and you don't know how and where to start. Now imagine you make twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times more money than you're currently making. So you could have that dream house, that dream car, that you press the acceleration, you feel the speed of that car. You would have more time for yourself, so you can travel the world. You can enjoy a nice cocktail on a beach in Bahamas. You simply spend more time with your friends and family. Or you just wake up one day and you say, I don't want to go to work today. And things will happen as you'd like. Prospects will come in, money will come in, without you being there. The question though is, how do we get from where we are to where we want to be? And the answer is by having a structured approach to business. So pay very close attention to today's presentation, because you will learn how to structure your business. See, 96% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. And it's only 1% that makes it more to $10 million sales. Which one do you want to be? Yeah, we are living in an economy today that is rapidly changing. Industries, companies that used to be successful in the past are going bankrupt. So tell me, who has a BlackBerry in this room? Raise your hand. Huh. 2 people, myself and my grandma. See, I love BlackBerry. I've had BlackBerries for the past 10 years, and I wouldn't have considered changing it. I have chargers in every single room. Until I went to the Web Summit in Dublin, and I spoke at a massive event. There were 20,000 people attending that event. The organizers gave us a mobile app to communicate amongst ourselves. I could see messages coming in, but I didn't know where they came from and what they said. So I realized that by having BlackBerry, old tools, I missed opportunities. Question for you is, what old tools are you using that make you miss opportunities? And what new tools are you not using that would bring you there faster? Why am I telling you this story? Because, who has an iPhone, by the way? Oh, I joined you guys because I wanted to be able to communicate with you. See, you determine non-interested parties, determine me, the client of BlackBerry, to give up my love, to change my BlackBerry for an iPhone. So you influenced the relationship between me, a customer, and the seller, BlackBerry. Now, what did BlackBerry do? Nothing? Exactly. Was BlackBerry successful in the past? Yes. See, if you don't change with the market, you are unlikely to survive in this tough economy. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. You might want to write this down. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. So, are you on the wave? Is your business on the wave? Are you waiting for the wave to hit you? Because this will happen. When your competitors change, or your competitors implement what I'm teaching you today and the latest tactics, they will outgrow you. I have a simple but profound question. How will a man go broke? How would someone go broke? Anybody knows the answer?
Married.
Married? Business-wise? It's gradually, then suddenly. I repeat, how would someone go broke? It's gradually, then suddenly. That has happened to me twice. I was broke twice. Speaking of which, who am I? I'm an entrepreneur, just like you guys. I sold over time biscuits, cosmetics, fashion clothes, ladies' fashion shoes, skiing equipment, cars, you name it. For the past 10 years, my heart has been with my consulting company, which was developing projects, raising finance, connecting West and East. And I was doing okay up until 2008, when the crisis really hit me. I had to downsize my company from 12 people to only 2. I was going to my father every weekend to eat because that was the only food I had, and I was taking doggy bag from my father. My house, I had 1 million debt at the time, was repossessed. 2009, a baby boy was born, and I couldn't pay for his medicines. Do you have kids? Do you know? Medicines cost money, and if you don't have money, it's really tough. So what did I do? I started going to conferences, to events, to trainings, to search different gurus, experts, specialists, and I learned a lot. All those tactics that I've learned, I put them into amazing tools to help people like you, entrepreneurs, grow their companies. People were telling me, oh, these tools are amazing. Great value for money. But I wasn't selling anything. See, I used Google AdWords. Spent $5,000 on Google Ads to send traffic to a website that was very slow in loading, and people didn't have the patience to wait. I used Facebook ads. Well, I tried to use Facebook ads, and they were not even served. And when they were, $5 per click. No leads, no sales. SEO, I paid somebody to help with SEO. 100% bounce rate from organic traffic. Because we optimized for business development, and whoever was searching for business development was searching for a job. We even paid a consultant 1,000 euros per month for 1 hour per week, and still 0 results. Emails, 5% open rate, and hardly any clicks. And what do you think people clicked on when it happened? Unsubscribe button. Blogging, amazing value, no one was reading. Social media, our consultant told us, oh, you just post on social media, and after 6 months, you'll see people will engage. Well, a year later, we were still talking to ourselves. Video ads, networking, nothing worked. Until I discovered what I'm going to show you today. Now I've got my business back, my life back, 12 years sell successfully around the world. So every failure is an opportunity. You might want to write this down. Every failure is an opportunity. Now I learned so much that I even wrote a book. It's called Shortcut to Business Success, 101 Tactics to Take Your Company to the Next Level. So from all the tactics and strategies that I learned, I selected the 101 strategies that had the biggest impact on my business and on our clients, and I put them in this book. It's forwarded by Bill Walsh, America's small business expert. He's made 80 millions working with small businesses. Who'd like a copy of that book? That lady over there was the first one to raise your hand. Please go to my colleague Rhonda, and she will give you a copy of the book. So who'd like a copy of the book? Raise your hand. See? Opportunities come and go. You've got to grab them when they come. You can get that book on Amazon for £11. We have 3 copies now. You can buy them for £10, and I'll autograph them for you if you want. The point of this story, though, is that in addition to grabbing the opportunities when they come, you also need to move fast. When you see something, react quickly. Speed to implementation makes the difference between success and failure. So let's move on. Based on my experience, having worked with over 100 companies in the past 3 years, and having been responsible for doubling and tripling their sales, I realized that when it comes to selling, to growing sales, most entrepreneurs have the same problems. See, most companies have a wonderful product or service, but they are not selling much. And how can they sell if they don't have enough leads, enough opportunities? That's what I call crowd. Not having enough people that know about their products or services. Now, the major next problem is conversations. Most entrepreneurs complain that people don't know about their product or service, and even if they know, they're not prepared to try them out. And that has to do with the lack of conversations. Problem number 3 is conversion. It's no point having leads and talking to those leads, potential customers, if we can't sell to those people, if we can't convert those leads into cash. But there is a fourth problem. See, most companies that we've worked with have customers and still complain. Because those customers, they want more, or they want to pay less, they don't pay on time, they negotiate to the penny, and the entrepreneur ends up putting all his effort, ends up working day in and night to serve those customers. So they don't really know what's going to happen. They feel vulnerable because they put so much effort in, they're not getting much out, and they don't even know what's going to happen with their business. They don't know when they'll receive money, so they can't plan the business, which means they can't plan their life either. So what's the solution? Well, when we talk about crowd, we need to have a marketing system in place to generate leads. When we talk about conversations, it's also about a marketing system in place. I'll explain in more detail later on. When we talk about conversion, we talk about having a selling system in place. So we turn those prospects into cash. And when we talk about the customer, it's having a targeting system in place. So as a small business, how can we get all these systems set up? It's almost impossible, right? Well, if we look at targeting, marketing, and selling, these are the main components of the sales funnel. But what is a sales funnel? That's a sales wedge. It's my own creation, and I believe it shows the sales funnel. It's a much better representation of the sales funnel. So, what is a sales funnel? It's a funky name for the process of the mapping the process of the journey of the person from the moment it initially interacts with the brand, the seller, the company, and to the moment that the sale takes place. You probably have seen it in this form. Raise your hand if you've seen a sales funnel looking like this. Okay, so you are familiar that in essence, that's what you do. If you have a business, you attract the attention of your potential customer. You engage with them in a conversation, another conversation. You nurture that relationship, and eventually that sale happens. Now, successful companies do this automatically. And that's what I'm going to show you today. Before I move on, I would like to share with you 3 deadly mistakes that most small businesses make. If I share these mistakes with you, do you promise me that you will always avoid them from now on? Raise your hand.
Try.
Cool. Mistake number 1 is not enough engagement. Now, if we look at the sales wedge, in the buying process, there are 14 touches nowadays that a person needs between a brand, a product, and a service in order to make the decision to buy. What do I mean by these touches? You've got only 3 here, and I would like you to fill in the gaps. So we've got an ad. It's any interaction whatsoever between the seller and the potential buyer. Here we've got an ad, a blog, or a phone call. And I'd like you guys to tell me the rest.
Email.
Email,
Facebook.
Facebook, Social
Text.
media?
Text.
Text? Any other?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth?
Twitter.
Twitter?
Recommendation.
Recommendations?
Leaflets.
Leaflets?
Beer.
Website?
Video.
Directories?
Video.
Video?
Does that come under social media?
Videos on social media?
Webinar.
Webinars? All of these are interactions. Now, how many of these interactions are you guys doing right now? Who has more than 14 touches? Raise your hand.
More than 14?
14.
I don't have more than 14, have we?
You have more than 14.
Well, it depends how long you read.
Okay, so one person has more than 14. How about between 10 and 14? Raise your hand. 2 people. How about between 5 and 10? Okay, more
You're
people.
talking about different types of activities.
Different types of touches, yes.
So not like 14 emails, for example.
No,
No.
no, I don't want you to call 14 times because that would be really bugging.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to meet them 14 times because that's stalking, okay? So who has between 1 and 5? See, most people are around between 5 and 7. Now you know why you're not selling. Because it takes 14 touches to make that sale. Here's what's interesting. 70% of the buyer's journey is being done before a buyer approaches a seller with these 14 touches. People are these days they find it so easy to do their research, to find information, that they don't contact somebody right away when they think of making a purchase. And 70% of their buying journey is being done by themselves without us knowing about it. So what happens if we want to sell on the spot? We only sell to 30% of our potential target market. But there is another interesting thing. Those people that are within the buying journey, within the 70% buying journey, have already been building a relationship with that potential prospect. So when the potential prospect wants to buy, do you think they'll come to you if you want to sell on the spot, or do you think they come to somebody that has been providing the 14 touches?
14 times.
14 touches. So I'd like you to write this down. What loses most small businesses 70% of their potential customers is not having enough conversations with them during their buying journey. And what I'm going to show you now, today, is how to set up these 14 touches automatically. Because if you want to speak one-to-one, if you want to meet one-to-one, it's really time-consuming. It's not efficient. Do you like it so far?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Mistake number 2. It's cold selling. See, a lot of people, everybody likes to buy, but they don't like to be sold to. People don't like to be sold to. If you think about it, have you ever received a phone call from somebody trying to sell you something? Raise your hand if you have. Did you like it?
No.
Exactly.
Sell back to them.
Exactly.
But you hate calling people up, and you'd rather have an automated system do it all for you.
Exactly.
They're normally not the one making the decision.
Yeah, but they are just wasting their time, and I'll show you why. Because no matter what you sell, it's only 3% of the people wanting to buy right now. So what happens if you call these guys? Exactly. Yeah? They won't like it. What happens if you call these guys? It's the same thing. Maybe the 7% buying future might want to hear from you. But if we look back at the 70% buying journey being done with the 14 touches, how many are really going to listen to you? See, this is where most companies lose money, because 97% of the phone calls, the cold calls, are going to go right in, I'm not interested. And even the 33% might still go like, no, I'm not interested. And there is a big, big, big gap right now between how people buy and how people sell. Because companies still want to make those phone calls, still want to sell on the spot, but people just don't buy. If you don't build a relationship, if you don't build trust with your prospects, you're simply not going to sell. Are you getting value so far? Yes or no?
Yes.
Cool. Mistake number 3. It's no targeting or bad targeting. What do I mean by targeting? Identifying your real ideal customer. Simple question. Who is your target? Most entrepreneurs get it wrong. Who is your target, really your target? See, a lady, Jo, she's got a coaching session, practice. She's part of our Marketing Less Growth program. And she said to me when she joined our program, yeah, I target women. She wasn't selling much. She would hardly have any one call per week or something, and she really lost confidence in herself, in the ability to provide value. That she thought it was something wrong with her. And she said to me when we had the strategic call together, yeah, I target women. Who thinks that's a good target?
Looks like my bit.
Is it a good? Is it a narrow enough target? Exactly. See, she wasn't specific, because in fact, she wasn't targeting any woman. She was targeting those women that had been abused in the past, but she was not able to express that, and her messages were all over the place. And those women that were within her target would not recognize themselves, because she was, I help you women. And when she nailed it down, she managed to get bookings just like this. Now she works like 5 hours per week, and she's booked like 2-3 weeks in advance. Is that cool?
Yes.
Just by targeting. See, when you do the targeting right, you increase sales between 40 and 50% by selling for the right price and by having referrals. That's the power of targeting. So are you guys going to target now? More narrow? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now, I realize that it's really hard, especially at the beginning, to avoid all of these mistakes. As a small business, you just want to grab whatever business you can. This is one of the reasons why the smart entrepreneurs join the Marketing Less Growth program. Because not only that they avoid these mistakes, and many others that I haven't even mentioned, but they have a guided journey towards their success. See, I've seen so many entrepreneurs, just like you, just like me, having a wonderful product, but not being able to put it in the hands of their